Welcome to another episode of Monte and the Pharaoh, seen on Thursdays, 8:05 to 9 p.m. Sad day in the wrestling world, sad week in the wrestling world. As you can see by the introduction, a loss of one of the greatest wrestlers, wrestling champions, and humanitarians of all time, Bruno Sammartino. Pharaoh?
Yeah, on the back of the baseball card, if you really want to be technical, no one has a better back of the baseball card. This guy's 756 home runs, basically. He's the 57 game hitting streak, not the 56. He's the guy that basically has the most impressive run of 11 years plus as world heavyweight champion. Sold out Madison Square Garden. How many times was it? I read something or heard something crazy, like 187 sellouts over the course of the 60s and 70s. That's
absolutely, it's like 7 years straight or something.
Ridiculous, And I even saw today Gary Reno, who was in the city today, posted that they had Bruno up on the screen in front of the Garden. Tribute to Bruno Sammartino.
Class act by Madison Square Garden, right?
How could they not recognize him? He's basically to pro wrestling what Ali and Frazier were to that building when it comes to the 60s and 70s. Bruno was the draw. Bruno was the best, and Bruno's the reason I started watching.
Yeah, can you
honestly,
trying to reflect, can you tell the fans out there something that's the biggest memory of Bruno Sammartino?
Well, how about my first memories of professional wrestling? They go with Bruno Sammartino. I mean, I was watching on Saturday nights, Channel 9, midnight. And at the time that I started watching, Bruno was towards the end of his career. I first became familiar with him when he was fighting superstar Billy Graham in the late 70s. And I saw him on George Plimpton's World of Sports. Just like I saw Joe Namath. Just like I saw Muhammad Ali. I saw this guy on the same show being, sharing the spotlight with guys like that. So I knew he was big time, and I was instantly drawn to him. He was a very simple, basic man who was built like a truck and had a good guy persona. I mean, there was nothing bad about the guy,
I just
remember, a good guy.
I remember growing
powerful.
up, when I wasn't into wrestling, younger, and my father used to tell me that my great-great-grandmother used to sit in front of the television and scream for Bruno. It was just amazing. Back then, wrestling, you had to hide in a closet if you were a fan, right? You didn't want anyone to know that you were a wrestling fan. But every month, the Spectrum, the Garden, they were sold out for their hero, Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, all those closets got emptied, and the Garden and the Spectrum were full. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
That is for sure. Bruno was a sellout wherever he went. And like I said, I caught Bruno at the end of his career, and I'll never forget that first time. I think I told you the story of how I begged my dad for a TV set. Begged him. And I finally got this little black and white set. And I remember I was so excited because finally I could watch that midnight wrestling without disturbing Mom or disturbing my little brother. And the first thing I remember seeing was this Larry Zbyszko slamming Bruno over the head with that chair and turning on his mentor. And I was like, how could he? I remember going to school like I was ruined. How could he do that to Bruno? Bruno was bleeding like a pig.
I came into wrestling.
They filled Shea Stadium with that feud.
I came into wrestling late when we first met, and you kind of introduced me to wrestling.
Yeah.
So again, I had seen wrestling. Went to the Long Island Arena a few times. I think I saw Bruno against maybe Baron Mikel Cicluna, some shit like that.
Something along those lines.
But anyway, the thing that I always remember Bruno for during the Hogan era, they wrestling was hot. They had to fill all different arenas at all different months, and you actually had 3 shows going on at a time. So they kind of brought Bruno back. And one of my biggest memories were when Savage, crippled Steamboat. Right, yes. He hits him with the belt, and he ruins his larynx or whatever.
I recall Sammartino and Savage having a really good match.
Well, that was one of the famous.
That was a good match.
Bruno sold that anger.
Bruno still had some gas in the tank.
Oh yeah, Bruno had great gas. And I mean, again, Piper's Pit.
He had great gas?
Well,
did he really?
I don't know.
Was he downing a double-cross salad?
I don't know. Look out. He's already pulling off the double-cross salad.
Oh, early. Man, I couldn't help myself.
Early.
A little double-cross match.
Even the Roddy Piper, Piper's Pit in Madison Square Garden.
Would you call that premature ejaculation? Is that what you're trying to say?
Jesus Christ. He is laying it out.
What's the
early.
problem? I don't understand.
Hello.
Will you please? Boy, talk about not going with it. Just go with it.
I'm going with it.
Okay.
It's a little early.
Anyway, what was Bruno? I'm talking about... Well, actually, let's just go back to Bruno. Fine. Go on.
All right. Anyway, now I'm off track.
That doesn't take much for you.
know.
Well, anyway, we were back to talking about Bruno's legacy.
One thing that I thought ruined Bruno's legacy, and please interject, is he came off a bit bitter late in his career, late in his life. Now, I get it. We're getting older. We're getting bitter, too. There's a lot of people that are bitter out there. There'll probably be someone really bitter in about 15 minutes. But besides that...
And I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh,
but besides that, he came off a little bit bitter. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, do you think Bruno was bitter because of, David's not getting a push? Or was Bruno just bitter because wrestling had gone from basically the basic scientific formula to the big show with Hulk Hogan kind of turning it into a cartoon?
I mean, let's be honest.
Bruno seemed very angry at the end about the fact that the wrestling had changed.
Was Bruno really a scientific wrestler, though?
In the old days, about as scientific as...
I don't know what you want to call it scientific.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, who was the Ricky Steamboat back in those days? I can hear somebody yelling at the screen
The one thing I love...
What do you mean? I know who it is. What's wrong with you? Anyway.
The one thing I love about wrestling, it's this microcosm of real life. Jealousy, anger, cheating, stealing. But it's in this little controlled society. And it's like, even when these older guys like Bruno... They're bitter, because even though at the time, right, Bruno, he bought himself a limo, man. That guy used to, the guy, I think David was baptized by the Pope. But when you see someone like Hogan or whatever else,
no, that's important. Important.
All right, so
that's pretty big time.
Also, let's not forget about the passing of Paul Jones. Maybe you could fill the fans in.
I think
Paul
of the
Jones
Masked Assassins when I think of Paul Jones. Basically, a heel manager, an excellent heel manager. What was he, 75 or something like that?
Yeah, he was.
Both
men lived a long time. We could only be so lucky, right?
75.
Could you imagine us, Jimmy, doing this show at 65?
Are you serious?
82.
Look at you, fucking.
Monte and the doctor appointment.
So anyway,
What do you mean we're on the air? Fuck you. I'm not coming on.
Other huge news. We had our biggest...
My ass is killing me.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ. We came off our biggest viewership last week.
Yes.
So I want to thank the Butcher of Blackwell.
Butcher.
And, Jim, I wanted to ask you. So we had Dave King, who I don't really know very well.
It's funny because...
Sure he knows himself very well.
I didn't know who Dave King was either.
Why?
Because I know him as David Klein.
Okay.
His name is David Klein.
Wait a minute. I wanted to ask you.
He had a show here.
But I wanted to ask you. There seemed like legitimate heat with him. Fill me in. What's going on there?
Well, I really bent over backwards for this guy. I took him in the station to have a show. I mean,
You bent him over backwards?
Bent him over backwards. I mean, really went out on a limb. I mean, it was when I was first starting out, and I really just needed some shows.
Young waif.
You were a young entrepreneur.
I gave him a great deal, and he came in and he would pay me in like rolls of quarters and shit like that, bro. Fucking
Get out of here!
One time he gave me like 23.48. He goes, "I'll give you the rest next week." And,
you take food stamps too, don't you?
Then he was like, he had a rolled up half of a joint one time. He's like, "Will you take this as a payment?"
Half of a smoke.
I don't know, bro.
Half of a smoked joint.
I was like, I don't know, bro. But and then all of a sudden he comes in one day and he's like, "We're not doing the show anymore." I'm like, "Bro, I put hours into building this show for you. What do you mean you're not doing the show anymore? I'm taking a loss here."
Right.
So that was it. They were gone. But then it was like, I never saw him again on Facebook. And David Klein, I was like, he unfriended me or something. So then all of a sudden this Dave King guy came up. I don't know who he is really.
So
but
my first knowledge of him was, I know the other wrestling podcasts out there, and I guess there's a show called Fat Man and the Jew. Am I right?
There was a show.
Okay.
There's a show now called Fat
So
Guy.
I didn't know the guy's name, but then he made an appearance with us on the great Evan Ginsberg show on Sundays at 11 a.m.
Yes.
Right? And shameless plug there for Ginsberg.
Yes.
Maybe you could do the same for us, Evan.
You're right over there, Jim.
So
Go on.
So anyway,
please.
we're on there with this guy. I don't really know him. And then, but all of a sudden it's just like, we have him on a show at Blackwell. Blackwell kicks him off.
Wait a minute.
Physically.
He invited himself.
He did invite
Would you
himself.
please? I want
he
that.
did.
All right, so
Would
say
somebody
it.
please say that?
Just say it.
He invited himself.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He invited himself.
Up
And when he came
downstairs.
down, he was like, "How come I don't know who the guest is on your show? I don't know. Do a little research."
Dude, he asked a wrestler
On
from
the
the
air.
WWE.
On the air.
I don't
On the
know
air.
who you
Right.
are. Explain to me who
God.
you
Live on the
are.
air.
Thank
The
God.
Great Butcher Blackwell.
Yeah. I don't know who you are. Can you please explain it to me?
Thank God, Butcher didn't.
The man that
lose
took
it.
down the monster,
Oh,
Mike Monte,
Bro.
with one push.
The
Yes,
monster.
the monster.
The beast.
The monster
In
one
carnage.
push.
Monster.
I gotta give
I
myself
hear
something.
Scooby-Doo in my
Jesus,
left ear.
bro.
Monster.
And now I understand that this brand new show that he has, the fat guy and the other fat
Yeah,
guy.
some fat
Oh my
guy in
God.
there.
So
Guys,
all of a
please.
sudden, it's the #1 wrestling show on the internet.
I did not
It's only
hear
a
that.
week. It says it right on his show.
Get out of here, really?
It says it on the bottom of the show.
Dude, I didn't know
#1.
that.
Yes.
Did you know that?
I'm outraged.
Did you
It
know?
said-
What do you
You don't
want
look.
from me?
Did you know that?
Because I don't care.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
don't care. I'm
Dude.
like, that's
Oh,
nice.
I care.
Well,
I
Jim,
care.
I already
I don't
know,
like
I
people who
already
lie.
know you're all over it.
I don't like
Why
people who
should-
lie.
Why worry, right, Steve?
Liar.
By the way, folks.
Listen, if you can't go by your
Village
right
Connection
name
President,
on
Mr.
Long
Steve
Island,
Miller.
I just want to be on camera because I want to be part of what's coming up.
Oh.
I need to be part of what's
Oh
coming
my
up because I will take
big announcement.
responsibility.
Tell me what the hell's
By the way,
coming up.
Sean Walsh
What the
checked
heck is
in.
going
Sean
on
Walsh
here?
wrote in and he said it's some fat guy.
oh,
So-
some fat guy.
All right, so let's get it straight.
I'm sorry, some
So
fat
anyway,
guy.
other
#1
big
rated.
news. Being that we're the
Help,
#1,
Sean.
being that we're the #1 radio, television, wrestling, pro wrestling broadcast on Long Island,
Without
we're going to make a
question.
special
That's a lot.
announcement
Yes.
starting now.
Starting now?
So June 9th,
Doesn't say that here.
Yes,
June 9th this year,
June 9th.
we have a true icon. Well, a lot of people try to pass around icons.
Get my supper, woman.
This guy is an icon. He wrestled under Roddy Piper's management.
The
in
hell you
WWE,
laughing at?
Right?
You laughing at?
He wrestled
Boy.
in the AWA, and he's most famous
This guy
for.
main evented with Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
More importantly, he slapped the shit out of John Stossel
Yeah, he did.
on
Yes,
ABC
he did.
News.
Yes, he did.
Dr.
Awesome.
D. David Schultz
Yeah.
at
baby.
Village Connection Radio. You hear the applause? This is a big deal. Huge. Huge. Yes.
It's awesome.
Oh my God, bro!
And you know
Thank
what?
you.
I
Thank
want
scared
to.
shitless.
I want to reach out and
'Cause he's
thank.
one
I want to
bad
reach out and
mamma
thank
jamma.
Mr. Jim Savelli
you. Yes,
for
baby.
Thank you, Jim.
helping us promote this and
Thank you for bringing me
reaching-
this opportunity to
and
promote my
taking care-
station
thank
like
you.
this.
And thank you for
and
taking care of this opportunity
yes.
for Monte and the Pharaoh.
Not a problem,
This was
brother.
Monte and the Pharaoh's dream when we started this, right? Was to meet some famous old time wrestling and maybe do some promotions. And you know what? Guys like Mr. Savelli, a good guy who takes his time out and helps the talent, even takes the opportunity to help the talent bring in famous people like this. So I am forever grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm ready to announce this bombshell
Oh boy.
on June
baby.
3rd from 12 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. live on Village Connection here in studio signing autographs is the none other than one half of the Midnight Rockers, one half of the Rockers, former Intercontinental Champion Marty Jannetty will be here in Village Connection Radio. Oh my God, I don't know what to say at this point. The reach of Village Connection is huge. These wrestlers just want to come here. This is the place to be. Again, June 3rd, 12 o'clock to 2:30. Marty Jannetty in the house, signing autographs, taking pictures, doing an interview with Monte and the Pharaoh.
Live.
And if that wasn't enough, June 9th, Dr. D. David Schultz. This is where you guys have to be.
Yeah, baby.
This is the radio station. This is the television station. Don't miss it. We will be here. Unbelievable. Hugely announced. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim,
So excited.
Jim, if somebody does not put me through a table right this second, I'm gonna lose it.
What's wrong?
I need to be put through a table. I can't handle all this energy.
Oh, it's
This
serious.
is like
Great
this is
energy,
like,
man.
You
Awesome.
feel that electricity.
It's awesome.
Someone needs to put me through a table.
It is
All right,
awesome.
Right now.
Do you want to?
Bang!
Do you want to start this week's show?
I'm not going through a table, am I?
No, not right now.
Kind of sucks.
Go ahead.
I feel it though. What's the matter? I'm starting the show now. I don't even know where to begin. Other than we had the superstar shakeup, which was like absolutely major. Happens once a year. Raw and SmackDown took each other's squads, and basically they're flipping and flying all over the place. And I'm still digesting the fact that we're getting Schultz and Jannetty.
Me too.
I'm also digesting the fact that you're doing something really obscene next to me.
What? I didn't eat.
What is
before
that,
I got
Titus
the show.
O'Neil? What the hell's going on here?
This thing is pretty big.
Hooah, hooah, hooah! Oh my lord!
I feel like a giant
Really?
penis was just shoved up my
Really
ass.
bad.
Boy, oh boy. Now, this is
Would you like a double crust salad to
This
go with
little-
that? And a nice order of double crust ranch, to put on it.
You ain't kidding. Well,
My
go ahead.
Lord, bro.
How exciting
Big
is this?
donut, bro.
Really?
Wow.
Woo!
I think he's gagging.
Man. Oh, apparently someone got it.
Dr. D, Marty Jannetty.
Oh my god, man, dude.
What the fuck just happened?
Oh, even though.
Hey.
Oh my god.
I use that famous word, I
You guys
digress.
could at least warn me when something like this is going to happen.
What?
All right, anyway.
I didn't get.
What?
Good friend Jay Marucci here in house. We
You're
went and had dinner
responsible for
together.
this?
Thank you, Jay, for
Oh,
at least.
my Lord.
I didn't have a chance to eat, and Jay brought me a large black sausage.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank
you, Jay.
Thank you,
for
Jay.
that black
Thank you.
sausage, Jay.
Thank you.
Steve, do you feel left out?
No, I'm good.
Because I feel like you. I feel
No,
like
no,
people over here
I'm
with-
good. I'm
I
enjoying.
noticed Jay's not asking for any, so he's good. Jim's not asking for any. Hey, how you doing over there?
How do you feel that you're going to be
feel
hosting
weirded out because you
some
just
of-
were swallowing, pickle and stuff.
I want to ask the Pharaoh.
What?
How does it feel that you're going to be hosting two superstars from the WWE?
Look, I got to tell you, you guys, man, I knew about Dr. D, and I'm very nervous because I'm afraid of Dr. D. I'm very nervous. Jannetty, I can't believe. I'm still trying to digest this one.
What can't you believe?
It's fucking great.
Well, I could have.
We had the hook on and we were good, right? It was like you and me were working that Marty Jannetty thing, baby.
We were.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess we did pretty good then.
Awesome.
Why wouldn't he come to the #1 wrestling show? That's the key. That's
Why
it.
he
That's
is
bottom
coming
line.
to the #1 wrestling.
That's bottom line. Monte and the Pharaoh. That's it.
This is the place to
Woo!
be.
Place to be.
Exciting.
Little nature boy.
All right, brother. So what do we got this week?
Little nature.
Well, we have Jinder Mahal joining Raw because the Superstar Shakeup has begun. Jinder Mahal comes out on Raw with his United States title, tells everybody he's superior, and winds up losing his title immediately to Jeff Hardy.
So nothing like rewarding a guy who fucking is drunk and runs over people by saying, "Hey, now you're out of jail. Hey, here's a title for you."
Oh my God! For those out there who are wondering, the guy who won the U.S. title last night had a DWI supposedly about 3 weeks ago. So I guess the moral to this story is as long as you don't speed bump anyone, you might become U.S. champion. You all fucked up.
Well, I'm fucked up. I didn't give him the
That's
title.
fucked up. Well, how do you feel about that? About Jinder? Here he is, and boom, he's immediately stripped of it.
Again, I don't even understand it. They give him the title and then they take it away just to give it to Jeff Hardy. I don't know. It makes no sense. I guess it's like, hey, you pass your DWI, you can come back. You'll be all right.
Any thoughts on it? You're still. Oh boy. We got Booker P over here. It's really bad.
Can we talk some wrestling?
Apparently it's hard for you to talk. You got your mouth full. You're gonna make me blow boogers all over you, bro. Sasha and Bailey got jumped by the Riot Squad. Do you care that they're on Raw? Because I could care less.
So here's
This
my
team
big
sucks.
problem with that. We've been waiting for
What's
Sasha
that?
and Bailey to get into it, right? And now you got the Riot Squad getting involved. What's your play on that?
I don't know, man, but the way you were getting into that pickle over there,
First of all,
it's a lot more engaging than watching the Riot Squad because that was, I don't know. They had like drawing paint. I really have
Dude,
no...
Jim, did you ever see the Pharaoh throw it off his game like this before? Now I know how to calm him down. All I do is pull out a
You
big
haven't
black
calmed me down.
sausage.
You freak me out. I think there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to ask Steve for a cigarette.
The Pharaoh's upset right now.
The Pharaoh's confused. The Pharaoh's
a
confused.
little
We got
upset.
Marty Jannetty, and this guy's playing with big black wieners. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Well, I think the Riot Squad sucks.
Who are you more excited about, Dr. D or Marty Jannetty?
Oh, you're gonna make me do? I'm not gonna say that on air because then
Oh,
the other
come
guy
on,
will
that's
like,
how
you
it's
picked,
true.
you
That's
picked
true.
him.
That is true. That's a bad question.
You
true.
picked
That's a bad
him. You know,
question.
the next thing you know, I'm
That's
getting the
true.
shit knocked out.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off a pro wrestler.
Well, let me just ask you this.
I love
when
them
I told you a
both.
few weeks ago we were going to get Marty Jannetty, and then when I told you like a week ago we're getting Dr.
still
D, which
processing
one were you
Jannetty.
more excited?
I love Dr. D. Okay, I love them both. I have massive respect for both, but I love Dr.
But like
D.
3 weeks ago when we were talking about Jannetty, were you like, yeah?
Of course. How can you not be that way about Marty Jannetty? He's a great wrestler.
Dude, I'm going to tell
Great
you
career.
what. I'm almost going to say that Marty Jannetty is going to be excited to meet the Pharaoh. That's
Yeah.
what
Oh,
I'm
would
thinking.
you please?
I think so.
Stop it.
I think so.
I think so.
I haven't held the U.S. title, and I don't have a D-Wee. What are you talking about? I'm not that exciting. What are you talking
But you got a
about?
big black sausage.
Yeah, sitting next to me. You're ambidextrous now. I don't know, man. Well, Sasha and Bailey are, once again, their program is stalling, so I don't know where they're going to get with that. Did you see KO and Sammy have now joined Raw? Thanks to Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank God.
Dude, I can't deal with Sammy, so.
Why?
Because he sucks.
What's the big deal? He's great when he's with Kevin. I understand when he's on his own, he's boring, but when he's with Kevin, he's good.
I guess. I don't know.
That's it, I guess. That's all you got.
I'm not a big.
Well, apparently
look,
that thing tickled his tonsils and his brain because that's all he's got, folks. What are you talking about?
dude, I blew my load like 15 minutes ago. I'm trying to
Why?
I'm trying to recover.
Why did you save it for the end? Whatever it was that you blew. I'm still trying to figure out what it was he blew. Although we've seen what he's been blowing the whole show.
Listen, you're the brains on this outfit, pal.
We're in big
You
ass-
tell me what to
we're
do.
in big
I just
ass-
follow it.
Big ass trouble.
I'm just a
I think
follower.
I think it's awesome that Kevin and Sammy
Calls
are
the
on.
shots, yeah.
All right, what else we got, Ben?
How about the Miz going over to SmackDown?
Now this is exciting, man.
Why is this exciting?
Come on, dude. We've been waiting for this feud for a long time, right? The whole
Was Daniel Bryan asked him to come on over?
yeah.
Can't wait.
Don't you think this is a
I think
good
it's
feud?
great. I think it's
Right?
great. I think it's great. Steve thinks it's great.
I think it's great because I think Big Cass is going to be his backup.
Get a load of big Cass.
Hey, can I
Big
ask?
Cass
Can I
is
ask?
gonna be his
Can I ask Steve which one he's more excited about? Because he don't care about getting beat up by a wrestler.
I don't.
Good.
Which one are you more excited
Marty
about?
Jannetty.
Ever
Since he got
You're
kicked
a
through,
rocker. He's a
ever since he
rocker.
got kicked through the window by the Heartbreak Kid.
sure
I
did.
gotta,
know my wrestling.
I gotta tell you too. When
know
you
my
go,
wrestling.
you know what, Steve? When you go online for photographs, and for all the fans that'll come down there and get a signing, if you get Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels autograph on that throw through the
Right.
plate window picture, that's worth like $500, dude.
No
Oh
shit.
yeah. So this is a great opportunity to get the
get
one
half.
half,
Oh,
right?
we'll get the other half. We'll get that soon.
We'll get
though.
Shawn Michaels one day.
Dude,
in
if
here.
we get
No
Shawn
worries.
Michaels, oh man! But you know
No
what?
worries. Look at
I'm
him.
just saying, for wrestling fans, you get that Marty Jannetty picture. That
You're
is
halfway home.
huge. Halfway home. Halfway home.
And then you get it framed in cardboard memories.
There you go.
Oh, right.
You're welcome, Scott. How you doing, bro?
What do you think that picture of you with Marty Jannetty in front of the Village Connection radio station is going to be worth?
It'd be worth some money one day.
Fucking A.
I
Big
think so.
bucks.
Big bucks.
Big
bucks.
dollars.
Big money.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I'm just humbled the fact that I got to join this station and that finally I get this kind of opportunity. I owe you big time, brother. That's all I gotta
It's awesome.
say.
Thank you.
I can't stop saying
I'm
that.
gonna actually bring down some peanut butter and jelly that day, and we're gonna actually make peanut butter and jellies together.
Awesome. You know what? I'm going to say this right now. For every person that buys an autograph, you get a peanut butter and jelly
Yes,
sandwich.
yes.
How?
Made by Marty Jannetty.
No, he's
Made
not
by
going
him.
to. He's not going to
He's
do
not
that.
gonna
No,
make
I
peanut
thought
butter.
that
We'll
they
tell
were gonna
people it's
make-
made by
they were
Marty.
gonna make things.
Fuck, you know what? Better. I got a better idea. There's a pizza place down the road.
Yeah.
Little Vincent's.
Want to order pizza from
Oh,
the-
yeah,
when
that's
I
right.
get-
And get to the
Suppose
people.
you forgot about my free promo, the Monte and the Pharaoh shades with every double cross salad.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Oh, the double cross salad
Yeah.
and a pair of shades.
And it comes with double cross ranch.
Oh,
Because the Funk Brothers, that's their favorite salad dressing. So there
Man.
And I just want to chime in for a second.
Sure.
boy.
I'm
Chime,
on
chime.
Facebook. No, Butcher Blackwell watching Monte and the Pharaoh on Butcher's
Oh,
Connection
man,
Radio.
Butcher, we love you.
You know what's funny? You should be very glad that he's over wherever he is, not sitting next to you.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
lately,
No,
whoever
no,
sits
I don't
next to
speak.
Butcher- Whoever sits next to Butcher lately.
No. I think that
doesn't
was
go well.
I think that was reserved for that
I was
one
gonna
person.
say.
Yeah.
Steve knows.
I
how to
will
be
talk
there.
about something though. There is a distinct possibility that Butcher Blackwell will also be having a show on Village Connection Radio. We are in deep negotiations right now, and it
I'm
will be
afraid of
called
that guy.
Legends House with Butcher
Yes,
Blackwell.
Nice.
Yes,
Yes.
baby.
Butcher. Oh Oh man,
That's a guy I'm afraid of. The Butcher.
you should be afraid.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, I
scary,
know.
dude,
He's
man.
He's
Yeah,
like-
because
he's
his
like a
original
stealth.
title
He's
of the
like-
show was going to be the Chop Shop. I guess what? When a butcher chops, you better watch out.
I referred to him today on my show as Mr. Blackwell.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
hello,
Mr. Blackwell.
Mr. Blackwell, nice to meet you, sir.
And by the way, those of you who are not big fans of Butcher Blackwell, and yeah, I've read your cryptic posts. Better be careful.
Yeah.
Careful what you say.
Careful.
Take caution
Butcher,
with
I'll
your
fill you in
tone.
later, bro.
I want to give a shout out to Sean Walsh out there.
What's
who's
up, Sean?
Watching. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for watching
Thank
every
you, Sean.
week. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
All right, what do we
Come
got,
by.
Pharaoh?
Come by anytime, Sean.
Sean rules.
Come by anytime.
In fact, he may be coming by next week.
Yeah, come by.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing.
Don't
Nice.
listen to me. Really?
I'm hearing.
I
Yeah.
love Sean. He's cool.
Sean's all right.
Yeah.
But speaking of Sean, did you catch Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy combining as a tag team?
I'm gonna let that Bray Wyatt thing go, are you? I love Bray Wyatt. What's cool?
Sorry, Sean. That's
Stop
not
it.
out there.
Hardy and Wyatt beat the Revival. Yeah, they're going on to what is this? What does this say here? Revival's on life support? That's hilarious. They are. I can't argue with that. They are on life support. You know why? Because they're wrestlers.
You know what?
They're wrestlers.
I have to tell you, every week I enjoy that you enjoy my witty writing.
Oh, you're funny.
It is witty.
Well, no, what happens is the Pharaoh.
Well, you have-
Pharaoh writes. I want to give props to where it is. Pharaoh writes a script every week. He spends a hard night putting a script together, and then I just tweak it with some witty writing. And and I enjoy the fact that he likes the witty writing. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing
Who
something.
added the witty part about Ed and Marty Jannetty?
Well, it's the best.
You added that?
It's the best of witty and shitty because it's witty.
That
with
was
the jokes,
witty.
but it's shitty with
That
the
was
spelling.
witty.
I just like accomplishing things, man.
Well, was that a fact or was that a witty
What's
addition? The addition of Marty Jannetty.
was
that
a little
fact
witty.
or
No,
a
actually,
witty
that was
addition?
him just throwing something in to make me go, really?
Oh, that was you. Oh.
He's always doing that crap. He's always slipping something in there.
A little witty.
That was witty.
It was witty. Go ahead.
Now, I know you're excited that Fandango and Tyler Breezango have come to Raw, and I see that you are excited because it says right here,
I'm excited.
Breezango joins Raw, who the fuck cares? So apparently you're all goosebumpy and giddy.
Dude, you
Oh,
weren't
that's
excited
funny,
about that,
bro.
were you? And then they have to give him a token victory on Raw, too? Come on.
You know, I find them to be very funny, though. I think they're hilarious, you know? And I like a wrestler who sometimes is just known for his humor.
And by the way, the great lawyer Pamela Roth is writing. She
loves
said,
this show,
She
bro.
loves Pharaoh, and she says, "Man, not only is he good looking,
But he writes
not
the
only is he
script.
talented,
But
he writes a script."
I'm reading it right here, bro.
Dude, the fans love you, dude. They love you.
She's fickle. I've known her for
Is
25
she
years.
fickle?
Oh yeah, she's fickle.
She's
She does
fickle.
not just
Pharaoh,
throw compliments around.
Pharaoh,
Jim,
enjoy the
don't-
moment.
Jim, don't get too
I've known
excited.
Pam for 25 years,
my
so
She
God.
don't throw the compliments around. What do you
Hilarious.
got there, bro? You still
are rough,
chomping on that?
yeah, no, I'm
Someone was
teasing.
talking about
I
Pam.
like it.
You
Oh,
please?
oh,
I can't anymore with this.
I got hungry for a second.
Up.
That's the problem.
Here we go. You
Is that
ready?
the latest thing they took
You ready?
off
I'm
the
looking
wall?
at Facebook.
Go ahead. What do you got?
What?
I want you to guess the author.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Remember one thing in life: a snake is always a snake.
Oh.
If you treat a snake with kindness, no matter what it can, it will strike.
Oh, I know what it's got to be.
I have no idea. I don't even know what that means.
I don't understand the
I'm
English.
confused already.
I can tell by the broken English.
Mine?
No, I'm
No, not the broken
I'm assuming
English,
You were
it's the-
reading it the right way.
Yeah.
You guys
Listen.
gotta let me know what's going on here.
I don't even know what's going on.
No.
Okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
I don't either.
Anyway, move on.
I thought hey. Natalia joined Raw, and she's turning out to be buddy-buddy with Ronda Rousey.
So I
What do you
actually
think
have
of that?
I
You
have a
like
very
that?
large opinion on this.
You do?
Natty trained Rousey, and I think it's a great move that she works a couple of weeks with her. So the work is a partnership together, and then sooner or later Natty will turn on
Yeah.
her, and you'll get a good couple of months, and that's where Rousey will make her mud, right? She'll learn what? Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry.
What happened?
Nothing.
Go ahead, Jim.
No, I'm just reading.
Just reading.
Just read.
Can I ask you about that as wrestling fans? Does it bother you that someone from another sport or another thing jumps in and right away gets main evented like Ronda Rousey?
Depends on the person.
No, and I'm being serious because the last WrestleMania when Rob Gronkowski ran into the ring, it infuriated me.
So this is my viewpoint on a few things, right? It's always good to have a gimmicky thing once in a while, as long as it's gimmicky. But even when you go to the old school, back when they had regions or regional wrestling groups, right? So the WWE at one point was a region, and the NWA was a region. A lot of times they put real badasses with the title because they had to protect themselves. Because people would do business for themselves. They would actually beat someone up and take the title, and then it would become a problem. Now you got a guy with the title. What do you do, right? So, for example, we growing up were anti Bob Backlund. We like the bad guys.
Right.
But the reason Backlund was champion for such a long time is Bob Backlund was a badass.
Right.
Like, you were not going to beat the shit out of that guy, right? Like even if you were like 7 feet tall, whatever, right? I'm a little exaggerated, but they actually never put him against too many giants, but he could kick your ass.
Right.
That was a problem with the NWA. Ric Flair was never really a badass, and that was a problem. They were always concerned that someone was going to dump on him.
Harley Race.
Harley Race was a legitimate badass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Pharaoh, your thoughts?
Who was a legitimate badass besides, Backlund was San Martino. The whole thing started when Bruno first won the title off the original champion of Vince's company was Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Mm-hmm. And they didn't really want him. It was more like Buddy Rogers was the initial champion as the result of two territories kind of like having a falling out. Now Vince had Buddy Rogers, but he didn't want him to be the champion. He wanted Bruno to be the champion. So he begged a young Bruno Sammartino to come down from Canada. True story, too.
I love the way you brought this Bruno thing back home.
Well, it's true,
Loving
though. He asked Bruno to come down as a young man from Canada to represent his company. And Buddy, right up to the match, wasn't even sure if Bruno was going to, how this match was going to go. And Bruno basically took the belt from him physically. He beat him in 63 seconds.
No shit.
Because he was a badass.
Yeah.
And they kept the belt around Bruno's waist just in case for like years. If anybody ever tried to go into business for themselves or try to take the title, they'd have to deal with Bruno.
Really?
Bruno fuck you up.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to get off topic what you guys were on, but it was Ronda Rousey, and because I remember back in the day when Piper was furious
with
Mr. T, furious that he was getting main evented.
Well, we wanted Piper to bust up Mr. T.
Yeah,
Most
everybody
of the fans
did,
were rooting for Mr. T, but we were rooting for
this guy.
Exactly. We were rooting for Piper to mess him up.
Not this guy.
So the issue I had with that, that you're right. So supposedly there was like a lot of heat between them.
Right.
But I got to tell you, sometimes I kind of feel like it's a work. Like they just kept it going regardless what it was. Like even though we're older now we can tell the true story. It's like, no, we're gonna take this to the grave with us. That's what I kind of respect about the old school wrestlers. They took things to the grave with them. But I'm not so sure they had that kind of heat because again, you didn't like him in WrestleMania 1, then you go and revisit and do another program at WrestleMania 2 with him. It didn't make sense to me.
A boxing match at that. Yeah.
Which I was there live for.
At the Coliseum,
I loved it.
You don't have to like somebody to make money.
One of my favorite, probably my favorite WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah. Not because of the match quality, just overall, just the way it was, I guess. I don't know.
What's that?
The WrestleMania 2.
What, your favorite?
Yeah.
Well, you were there.
Was that the one that was?
That's Hogan versus King Kong Bundy.
Well, wasn't that?
They had the three different.
Chicago, LA, and New York.
Yeah, that's correct. So we're at the Coliseum. So we got Morocco Orndorff, Savage George the Animal Steel.
Do you still watch wrestling, Steve?
Yeah,
just the fact that he knows that.
Not really. Oh no, I was like
when I was than he's leading on.
No, when I was a kid, I grew up. I'm a little older than you. I grew up in the early '70s with Saturday morning WWE with the Blackjacks against Irish Pat and Dominic DeNucci. That was my, all that great stuff. So
Mario Sarion?
All of them. It's Skandar Akbar, all this crap, and I lost it, and then it's funny. I was watching it when I was in the hospital because I had nothing to, and I'm like, hey, this is entertaining. So I came back to it, and now I have the network at home. So
that's funny. I have that same type of story. We lost Jimmy Valiant a couple of weeks ago. Right. I remember the first time I watched wrestling, the Valiant brothers were on, and I thought they were girls. I actually thought they were girls, and they had no tops on. And I screamed to my father to come down, and I'm like, these naked girls are running around.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that, bro.
Yes.
I do remember that.
Yeah, those
well, they actually had pretty large breasts.
We were pretty young,
well, it's not like now where, the guys back in the early 70s, they were big and they were badass, but a lot of them were not in great shape.
Right.
I mean, they were... I mean, look at what Dusty Rhodes. I mean, the guy was fat.
Right? Oh, listen to this. Wait, listen to this interview. Listen to this offer. Butcher Blackwell. tell Steven I would let him sit in with me during an interview.
Oh.
I don't want Butcher Blackwell to beat me up.
Listen, if he invites you, you have to go.
Yeah,
I'll
if
go.
you're in the circle of trust, you'll be okay with it.
No,
You
I'm the
have to
station
go.
president. I get it, but
All I would say to you is
You don't like
interrupt me.
yesterday.
No, I did. I loved it. I loved those days. I remember with my friends, like, we thought it was the greatest thing. You'd have the wrestling magazines. We'd be in Catholic school hiding them because the nun would take them, right?
And the nun finding apartment wrestling.
Yeah,
they
that,
had the
like-
apartment wrestling in those magazines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
And they were all,
That's
and they
hilarious.
were the. I respect those guys because those were the blood and guts matches where they'd be, they'd be gushing blood, and you'd be like, oh Jesus, this is rough. That's a rough trade, and they weren't making a lot of money. So God bless them, man. Those old timers.
I find it incredible that a show that was only on, at least when we were kids, once a week
That's right.
at midnight on Channel 9 would fill Madison Square Garden every month. Mm-hmm. Every month.
Yeah, and the
it did.
Boston Garden and the Spectrum.
Yeah, it would
and
fill every...
Dude, from 82 to 84, we would, on the summer nights, if we could, the greatest thing that ever would happen to us when cable first would coming out, we'd be cruising around the channel. If one of us caught, like, they would show a Capitol Center, like,
On
match,
USA.
On
we would
USA.
go scream
Yep.
and be like,
You-
oh my God, the Capitol Center, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, I remember being up at college, like when they had Saturday night's main event. And
Sure.
I was upstate, way upstate, so it'd be like the middle of February. You ain't going out. You're just like drinking and smoking weed and watching.
So
Saturday's
I
main event. It was
but you know what?
Whoa,
I might have told this story before, but I have a really sad story. So, I'm almost like 18 or whatever, and Saturday night's main event is when King Kong Bundy squashes Hogan and breaks his ribs. I don't know if everybody remembers that. So I was supposed to go to the bar at the girlfriend at the time. Little shout out to my friend Wendy Quinones. How are you out there? She was waiting for me at the bar called
God.
Images. You guys remember Images in Huntington?
Dude, I'm gonna
Oh,
kill
boy.
you.
So
Dog.
I'm watching Saturday Night's main event,
Oh.
and then she's like, come to the bar, let's hang out. I'm like, I gotta wait for Saturday Night's main event to be over. So anyway, Bundy squashes Hogan, and I'm literally like crying, and I get into Image. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, oh, Bundy crushed Hogan, and she's looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Oh my God.
Fucking got beat up.
It was a precursor.
Well,
This is us.
well, but
It's a precursor.
Good enough.
terms of endearment.
Oh my God, dude!
Come to terms.
Wait a minute. Terms of endearment. When that mother is
You
dying
cried?
in
You
bed
cried?
and that
Yo,
little
please,
kid is
Jim,
crying,
Jim, this
That-
is getting
did you not cry?
real quick.
No.
This is getting really,
What?
really...
I
I
didn't cry
did
either.
not.
Jay,
Wait, did your voice
little pop
change
out.
like
Did you
Peter-
cry during that?
Peter
Look, you
Brady?
had to
Hey,
cry.
hey,
Thank
hey,
you.
Peter
Peter
Brady.
Brady.
What?
Hey, Peter Brady.
You just Peter Brady on your voice.
I can't even get my voice up that high, goddamn.
Listen, I'm not a goddamn professional.
No, I remember my girlfriend in college, like coming down to the suite, and she's like, "You going out?" No, because I'm wasted, and Miss Elizabeth's gonna be in a bathing suit in like
Nice.
5 minutes, and she's like, she literally, I don't use this word. It's the R word for the mentally challenged. That's what she called me.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was a short relationship.
Wow. Well, listen. Is it worse to cry in terms of endearment or in Search for Spock?
Terms of
Or
endearment.
Wrath of Khan?
Wrath-of-Khan.
You know when Spock's dying, he's like, Jim.
Yeah, that didn't affect me either.
That didn't affect you?
Did not affect me.
Wow, you guys have no soul.
No, none.
Mr. Spock dying broke me
No.
up. That was horrible. I needed like 7 cases
Do I
of
get it out of
fucking
him?
tissues.
We were in the movie theater together. I remember this.
Spock is dying.
I go to him, are you fucking crying right
Yeah,
now?
man, it was horrible.
He's like,
Bring
so
back
ex-
Spock, and they did. The next film, right back.
God.
That's right.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but you got to remember something though. I'm crying over Spock. He's crying over Bundy.
And someone's crying over Marty Jannetty.
And Marty Jannetty.
Oh my.
Oh!
That's not.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's not even. Nah, that's not right, man. You guys are just not right, man.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, next. Horrible.
What's next? Well, we do have something that I thought was extremely cool. Dolph Ziggler is on Raw, which is fine, but he brought Drew McIntyre with him. Now, this reminds me of, I know it's, much different, but it was like, very cool when Shawn had Diesel, so we got a little bit of,
Yeah.
I think it's cool that he's got some muscle with him. And
Yes.
I love the fact that they picked Drew McIntyre. That was great.
Dude, how many times are we going to play this Dolph Ziggler thing, man?
What do you mean?
Just let him go. Let him go to New
No,
Japan.
don't let him go.
No?
Don't let him go and use him correctly. This is the best I've seen him being used in recent memory. I love this move. I thought that this was great.
Yeah. All right.
Bobby Roode joined Raw. Did you give two shits?
All right, so here's my problem with Bobby Roode. I got a problem with wrestling, period. If you notice, there's
you
nothing
like
good
Bobby
about it.
Roode?
Here's the problem. Got to make the dude...
What the hell did you read Raz's book? What's wrong with you?
Raz book.
Fucking conservative freak.
Can I go on to...
What the hell, man? Xenophobe?
Xenophobe.
Freak?
Holy cow,
What's wrong
man.
with you?
Jesus. Well, can you buy Raz book on Amazon?
Vote Ronald Reagan. What? What? What?
You know, I meant to ask you. Did anyone
Don't
hear?
ask me
Did
anything.
anyone
No
hear
shot.
Jesse Ventura's rant
Holy shit! I was wondering
about
Did you
Syria?
hear about this?
He's whack, dude.
Yeah,
He's
well, why
whack.
don't you tell them what Jesse said? This was messed
Well,
up.
Jesse was
here
against
we go.
us getting involved in
Right.
what happened in Syria. Does
Right.
anyone want to weigh in on that? Now, Jesse's a former Navy SEAL,
Yeah.
a former governor of Minnesota,
Yes.
former one half of the East-West connection with Adrian
That's the only
Adonis.
thing that matters to
That's
me.
really important.
Jesse's a,
But how did you feel that Jesse keeps taking this liberal stance?
well, he's a big conspiracy theory guy. He always has
show
been.
on that?
Yeah, it's
Show
like
on conspiracy
and I'm like
Everyone's
him. I
out to
take
get you,
with a
McMahon.
grain of salt. It's like, whatever, dude. You know, you paid your dues. Okay, have your little conspiracy show and just whatever. I don't take.
So
it
what do you
seriously.
think he's just saying it to say it?
No, I think he's nuts. I think he's out there. I think he's got.
Well, first of all, why does it make him nuts to say that? Look, whether you agree with him or disagree with
No,
him,
no.
that's
I
one
think
thing.
the
Why is he
body of
nuts for
work,
making it-
the
yeah.
body of work, the conspiracy theories before, like the aliens at Area 51 theory he has, and all that. He believes in
Wait.
all that, so he's a little
Area
nutty.
51?
I thought he said Area 22, didn't he?
Oh, no, that's the other.
I said Area 51
Oh, okay. Is that where it is?
in Nevada.
The aliens.
You guys,
Oh, that's not Area.
guys,
got it.
man.
Got it.
Understood.
Okay.
Good.
I didn't even set that one up. That actually just I put that on a team
Was organic?
for Monte. That was organic. I'm sorry.
It's like a,
I can't. No, I don't know. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I find his a little kooky.
what do you think, Jim?
I try not to think.
Okay. How about you, Jim?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, honestly.
I still can't get over that Area 51, but it's a popular.
Listen, obviously Jesse Ventura is a really intelligent guy.
I think he lost it.
I
though,
was
dude.
I was disappointed in the comments.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Go ahead.
When a dictator uses chemical
say dick?
weapons, I'm being serious, Jimbo. When a dictator, actually, I did partially. Say,
Oh, here we go.
I think he said dick again.
you know what?
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Cued him. Jim actually cued him.
It's cute. Yeah, it's
This
like
show's gone completely out of control. I say dictator. He goes, "Did you say dick?" And this guy whips out Titus O'Neil.
sausage. The
What the hell
sausage.
is going on here? Oh my god.
Go ahead. So good. What are you saying?
When a dictator uses chemical weapons on his people, no one's supposed to do anything. I don't understand. Like the rest of the world should just say, "Screw it, it's your problem." Is that where we're at? That's what I want to know. Is that where
depends
we're
on-
at?
it depends
Screw
on-
it, it's your problem.
it depends on who
that's
you
what
talk
Jesse
to.
seems to be saying to me. He's like, what are you talking about? Don't trust the government. Screw them.
He lost his mind.
I don't know.
And I think the truth being told, since he was a governor, I think he has a bigger responsibility.
Yeah, to not lose his mind.
to not go anti. I mean, you could be against a certain action, but when you start saying don't trust your government and you were part of it, I kind of I shake my head at it.
and again, I want to know what
You know.
no one's supposed to do anything when.
yeah,
What do you think? Going back, we were
You
speaking
know,
about Bruno earlier. When
someone's
people
gotta
get
do
older,
something.
do you think they just get bitter and they just
Well,
want
I think
sit there and poke the bear all the time?
I didn't want to jump in. I think Bruno was kind of bitter in a way. I think there was a part of him, and this is strictly conjecture. I don't know for fact. I mean, he was bleeding. He was blood and guts all up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
And then Hogan, Savage, and everyone else is cashing in with the merchandise and the rock and wrestling connection and all that. And he missed the boat.
About Y.A. Tittle,
Oh, absolutely.
Jim Brown.
Well, supposedly one of the
Willie Mays.
one of the most bitter guys there ever has been is Willie Mays.
Yeah.
That he missed the boat. But it happens, and quite frankly, to me it's understandable. It's like I built the foundation and you sold the house, and I didn't get it.
Look, man, you know what? This is business, right, Jay? We've done business
agreed.
together, right? This is business, right? You get in early, and you get in too early, you get screwed. You get in too late, you get screwed. You get in just in time, you make the cash.
Oh,
right? It's all about when you get in,
It's timing.
how you do it, right? And that's it. And Right, I understand being bitter. It's like, oh, if I just...
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying I think that might be a point as to why he was bitter. I mean, I don't know. I know the guy, so I can't possibly say. But like you guys said, he was the first champion when I was a little kid and turned on that television on Saturday mornings when they were on. So Bruno was the key.
So Pharaoh, you agree with our
I think Bruno was just bitter because the time had passed by and the business was changing radically. It had gone from, don't forget, he was during the era where people still addressed the sport as being real. This wasn't when people were going, it's absolutely fake, and wrestlers were saying it's fake like they do today. This is before that. So when Bruno saw Hulk Hogan coming in and everything was turning into like a cartoon, this freaked Hulk Hogan out.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruno out. He was like, wow, this is not...
I do hate when people call it fake, though.
Growing up, what's going on here?
I hate when they call it fake.
Oh,
it's predetermined.
Right.
It's not fake.
He loves calling it fake. He calls it fake all the time.
I don't call it... No, well, I say it's predetermined. The blood is real. The injuries are real. So they're entertaining. But, you know, it's predetermined. To me, it's predetermined rather than fake. But
look, it's either... You know what, man? It's like either you have it or you don't have it, right? With everything in life. So it's...
we have it at Village Connection.
Well, we do have it.
We have it.
We have it at Village
Pharaoh.
Connection.
I know we have that.
Yes, we do.
Oh, boy.
What do you got?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what we got here as I look through this list. We have Almas joining the roster, which I think is great from NXT. Andrade Cien Almas. He's coming with Zelina Vega. That should be great.
I was surprised to hear that there's actually Big Cass fans out there.
He just mentioned Big Cass.
Yeah, that's what surprised me. Why would you like Big Cass?
No, I don't. It's almost
You didn't like him kicking Daniel Bryan's head off? I love that. I thought that
Daniel
was great.
Bryan's really impressing me. This guy, now I understand why people love him. Because this guy could
You
sell.
mean Daniel Bryan? I didn't realize he's related to Kobe. Hell, that's what I meant by shitty. He's got witty humor and shitty spelling. There it is. Daniel Bryan. You jackass. Oh, look, R-Truth is still wrestling. Funny. They put R-Truth on, SmackDown, and you didn't even know he was still wrestling. That's pretty funny. I didn't know he was still wrestling.
That's
either.
one of the funniest signs I ever saw when they were at, what was it, the Royal Rumble, and the guy holds up the sign that says, R-Truth thinks this is SummerSlam.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
My bad.
Right, my bad.
Sorry, my bad. I thought that's good. What do you think about the Bar joining SmackDown? That's a big move.
Yeah, dude, you know, it's like...
That's a big move.
Some of the shit just doesn't make sense to me, you know? Moving Bailey, moving the Riot Squad over. I guess you got to have new faces to battle against new people. I get it. But some of it just doesn't work. What is the Bar going to win now? Win the SmackDown Championship? Is that how it's going to work? Are they going to get in a feud?
What, against the Bludgeon
Against
Brothers?
the Bludgeon Brothers? I don't know, man.
either.
Wrestling, you know, sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. I just know that...
and by the way, let me get this in. I don't know how much time we got left here, but I have to mention this. You know, the Usos went from being... You know, that island makeup gimmick that they had going on for years and years. And now, lately, they've been wearing black. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. We're badasses. Okay, well, if you're badasses, how come your wife had to come out and save you from the Bludgeon Brothers? What sort of penitentiary is this? Where your wife comes running to save you from a beating with the guys with the mallets. That made me laugh. I'm like, so much for the Uso Penitentiary. This is the penitentiary of wusses. What the hell's going on here?
She's backing that ass up, boy. Come on.
There you go again with Feel the Glow. I felt the no. That was a bomb.
You just hate her, man.
I was laughing. And you hear her screaming when she came down the ramp? It was horrible. Oh, my God. It was so bad. She needs to be fired.
Oh,
she
Mike,
can't act. She
thought
can't talk. What?
I just wanted to let you know that Renee is actually watching. She hasn't seen the wrestling type, but she's watching. She said, we're all family.
Renee's good people.
Yeah.
I was telling the Pharaoh on the way over here that the last show that she had, they were speaking about, I guess they had a gentleman on there that took a massive heart attack, right? And a stroke. I'm sorry, stroke and a heart attack.
And then a heart attack.
Whoa, wait a minute. That really, really nice host from Stroke of Luck
had a stroke.
is watching.
She's watching right now.
Him?
She said that.
This whole show?
She said she's watching.
With the Titus O'Neil thing going on?
No, she said she's watching because of you.
Oh, thank God.
Everybody's
Not
watching.
because of him.
Thank you. Wow. Please. You don't want to know what he's been doing all
You know what I've been telling him? I'm amazed. Like, he's some kind of Greek god now. People come
Would
up
you
to me,
stop
they're like,
it? I am Greek.
I got it.
Do you
Right,
know the
didn't he
Pharaoh?
say, do you know the Pharaoh? I know. I'm telling you. It's fucking crazy.
But enough about myself. Why don't you girls talk about
Bro,
me for
what
a
about-
while?
Enough about me. How about more about me?
What is going on here?
Let me ask you.
Yes.
Weren't you excited to meet the Pharaoh finally?
That's why I stayed around.
That's
today.
why you
No,
stayed,
this is
bro.
getting
That's why I
strange.
stayed.
Here, sign my
That's
shoe.
like because I said to
Ay,
I said
ay,
to
ay.
Savali, is the Pharaoh coming?
Yeah. Savali's like,
Just like that.
He said it just like that.
Just like that. I said,
He
Jim,
said like an
Jim,
8-year-old.
Jim, come
Is
here.
the Pharaoh coming?
Is
he's
the
like, are you
Pharaoh
staying for
coming?
Monte and the Pharaoh? He's
No, he
like,
said, I'm
is the
staying for the
Pharaoh
Pharaoh.
coming?
Is the Pharaoh coming? Am I staying for the Pharaoh show?
And then
Yes.
No, he's not. Pharaoh won't be there.
I gotta go.
What is going on?
He said that.
I did. I got it.
And I heard
got
Pamela's not going to be able to make it to the meeting. What's going on?
Oh,
with that?
well, she's got some guys to be with.
Gave me a hard time. Now I'm going to be coming down here, and
Pam,
not
you're
gonna
missing
be
out. You're missing
Pam,
out,
you're
Pam.
missing out, Pam.
Missing out,
What's going
Sister
on?
Christian.
the big
I think
niece.
that
Christian. Oh boy.
Can we,
But anyway,
can we just announce one more time what's going on because I forgot the calendar.
You
Okay.
are
In order.
such
So,
an
in order,
instrument.
on June
I
3rd,
can't.
from 12 to 2:30, we have former Intercontinental Champion, former AWA Champion, Tag Team Champion, the great one half of the Rockers, Marty Jannetty, which is huge. Again, for Monte and the Pharaoh, this is a big deal. We've been working on this for a long time.
Thank you, guys. Bring that to me.
No, thank you, Jim. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. D, on June 9th from, I think, 4:30 to 6. It's a Saturday. He'll be down here. He'll be signing autographs. Again, Dr. D, very famous AWA wrestler. Came to WWE, worked under the Piper family for a bit before Piper started wrestling. He was getting over his eardrum problem. Dr. D had heavy feuds with Hulk Hogan, and then eventually, put John Stoss on commission, which ended up costing his job.
Gave him an eardrum problem.
Right.
Slapped the piss
So,
out of John
He
Stossel.
deserved
Oh,
it.
you think it's fake?
He
You think it's
deserved
fake?
it. He so deserved it. Oh God.
So, again, the ultimate goal of Monte and the Pharaoh when we first started this was to get these type of wrestlers on. So we, thank you, Jim
Mission accomplished.
Savelli. Thank you so much for.
Hey, when I make promises, bro, I keep them.
That's what I'm talking
Although
about.
other people say otherwise, but
Well, I appreciate it, and I know the Pharaoh appreciates it. And again, we work together here, and to make it work. So
Double cross salad.
we do it together. We work together, and that's it. We're very excited. Should be fun. And then also we're actually have a table for Village Connection in Atlantic City.
yes.
For the Boardwalk Beatdown in sometime in August.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing some co-promoting down there also.
Fantastic.
So
Some
it's
names coming our way with that too.
yeah, we're looking at a few. I don't want to name any yet because I don't want to act like I know who they are exactly going to be.
I saw a few names going on.
But like I said, come on down. We'll love to have you. Love to have Marty Jannetty. I think, they'll both be being interviewed for a quick spot on the Monte and the Pharaoh show, and
Have some pizza.
we're honored to have them with us for sure.
and have a slice. Have a slice of pizza with us.
Some Helios.
Helios.
Oh my
Some
God.
frozen fucking pizza.
Anyway,
What? You said pizza.
That's a pizza.
Might as well get the fucking frozen shit from aisle 10. Fuck.
It's not delivery. It's the John O'Farrell.
A nice double cross salad. Holy
well, we had a
shit.
we had a superstar shakedown.
give
We had a
up, you
superstar
guys.
shakedown in wrestling, and we had a little shakedown here on Village Connection.
Yeah,
So
I feel like I got shit.
anyway, my prayers go out again to the San Martino family and the Paul Jones family, and all the wrestling fans that grew up on these two gentlemen. If you could probably say something to both of them, we could say thank you for entertaining us and giving us years of excitement and making a difference in our lives, because that's all it's about. And I want to thank the fans out there for making a difference in our lives by joining us every Thursday from 8:30 to 9 on Monte and the Pharaoh. Pharaoh, you got any sign-off words before we cut it out for today?
Yeah, I want to thank Steve Miller. I want to thank Jay for coming down, and Jimbo for his usual great work. And I want to not thank the people who were supposed to deliver me my where's my double cross salad?
The double cross salad didn't come.
Supposed to be here.
Well, gotta call the station.
Badass delivery.
Anyway,
Hello,
God bless.
Ballsack.
Have a
I ordered
great
a
weekend.
pie.
God bless. Thank you.
Later.
Behind these gray walls